This is episode 5 of Decharged, and as you know, Decharge is the growing channel right now in the Kenyan, motorsport industry, automotive, various fields to do with our whole culture, whole driving culture, and everything. So, in today's episode, we have a very, very special and a very unique guest, Biker Nairobi.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
So he's very famous. He needs no introduction in this space. As you can see, we gave him water, but he couldn't drink. He couldn't drink. He couldn't even take a sip of it. So Brian, now as you have even shown us, right, that you couldn't even drink water. What is the reason behind the mask? Like, would you ever unmask yourself? How do you eat, sleep, drink, shit? How do you do everything the whole day?
Simple answer me, I don't. But actually, I don't. The reason I put on this mask is very simple. We all choose how to deal with pain differently because knee pain actually just found me. I wasn't intending to be tame, and I'll be honest. I was just going on my day-to-day recording, posted a video, it became famous. So when I started hearing people just call me, bra, I would respond with the, oh yeah, oh, so it just became
Like an identity.
like an identity. So I just went along with it, and I felt like this is something that is more relatable to people because the helmet itself shows like a sort of unity. It's oneness. Kwa hii helmet huwezi jua mi kabila gani, kwa hii helmet huwezi jua mi nabanishaji gani, how old I am. So I'm relating every person in their own.
So it doesn't peg you into a certain demographic.
It doesn't.
Like, okay, this is the youth, or this is the elderly, or this is Ntondogo. Like it is across the board. Everyone can relate to Brayo, right? As a brand and interact with you and communicate with you. Yeah. So I think it's a very fantastic way, and it's very interesting because it's very few people you come across, like especially in the Kenyan content scene, whereby someone will be masked and all that. So most cases it's like people like me, for instance, we will show ourselves and people will know who is behind the camera. But in your case, no one knows. Like you said, we don't know your age, we don't know your tribe, we don't know anything about you. So even for people to judge you in a certain way is also non-existent.
Yeah, because I've seen in most cases when that it's human nature, it's actually natural for people just to try to group you in a certain way and then judge you in that way. So I choose not to be judged in that way. It's not that I'm hiding my face, I'm actually just being a symbol of unity, to be honest.
Also, I think the other, sorry to intervene, but I think the other key aspect to this is that you can be you when you want to be you, right?
Yeah.
So when you remove your helmet, no one will know this is Brayo or who this person is. Yeah, your online community will not know, and this is a challenge that the other people we really face, right? Because whenever we go to a mall or when we go to a public space and everything, and we are with our families, or we don't want to be really seen, and we don't want to be like and now you are actually in the limelight. Like everyone wants to see whether you're doing a mistake, whether the person Imran is doing a certain mistake or not, right? So it's a very difficult time, right? You have to censor yourself on how you behave, on how you walk, on how you do things, everything, because everyone is out there to see where you will go wrong. Now, in your case, when you remove the helmet, you are you, the person, and no one knows.
I can actually be free. Let me ask you a question, Ira.
Yes.
For you are also a public figure.
Yes.
An icon as well. You've mentioned ukienda kwa mall. Do people actually just come and just ask you about automotives and you just want to do your own things?
Yes. So I actually experience that all the time, more frequently than not. Yeah. And now at the time, you want to have like your your own time, family time or whatever. And but then now again, you see, you have to it drives you to answer those questions because it is you. It is like, that's
It
what it calls for, yeah.
So if I gave you this helmet, would you put it on?
No.
If you started with this helmet,
Yes, I can't put it on because it's it's really suffocating. It's not easy, by the way.
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's really
not
hard.
easy.
It's really hard.
Yeah, for example, says I can't see anything. But it's like I can see everything. But I've gotten it.
So, Brian, the most, one of the topics I wanted to discuss is
Yeah.
about the biker scene and the boda guys at large and our traffic regulations, the traffic laws and all that. My question is, mbona wase kuchomanga magari? Like every time a boda is hit or something is, any two, a biker is hit, wase wanakuja pamoja wanachoma gari. And at times it might not be the car's fault. At times it might not be the biker's fault, whatever, yeah? So what drives people to do that? Why is there enmity between the bikers and the other road users? Why is there a lot of enmity? And how can we, prevent that enmity and bridge that gap?
First, me, I would say, Panda, it's just road rage. People are just angry, to be honest. Most of bikers and they start deep between. Kama mtu anaendesha bike, huyo mzee anaonekana ni kama siasa ipo kwa barabara. You see? So I feel like it's something that has been baked in over time. And then the bikers also get angry. Yeah, this is how they are wanaona sky.
Wanatreatiwa vibaya.
So, and then just, the first thing you say after an accident, like, ufai kuwa kwa barabara, it triggers certain anger in the boda guys. Hakuna mse anapenda ndogo ndogo, to be honest, yeah. So, and there are many, they always a group. You have seen an accident. In 2 minutes, how many boda guys are there?
Yeah.
They gather.
How do we bridge that gap? How do we make sure that both, road users coexist properly?
I would say prevent that accident in the first place. Look first for a biker, and then also for bikers, we should learn just to follow traffic rules. Yeah, I'm trying to be an example where I stop at the traffic lights. Rarely you see any boda guy or even some bikers wanasimama pale kwa traffic light, because if it's red and it's clear, we just go. Yeah. It's not necessarily the best practice to do, or even riding just filtering recklessly through traffic.
Especially around about your prestige, your matters of prestige.
Hapa hivyo nimeona accident.
That's a very dangerous zone.
Dangerous.
Because like the bikers will just go straight and then the green light is there and sasa magari zinataka kuchomoka. So mtu amefoot accelerator chini alafu unaona biker a boda guy just out of fire.
So yeah.
And how do you prevent that accident? So it's very difficult to prevent that accident.
It's very difficult because bikes don't break the same way cars do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me, I would say ianze tu na kwanza na nchi wa bike. Tujifunze ku ride bike. To take responsibility at bikers corner. We just also follow traffic rules, and then we just learn for cages we learn to share the road. Hii barabara si ya mtu mmoja specifically, we are all on this road. And to answer that question of magari, me I don't condone road rage or violence in any form ama in any shape kabisa. So kama unachoma gari, wewe ni criminal, na kama wewe umegonga mseu akaumia, pia wewe unafaa follow traffic rules. So
you own up to the mistake.
Yeah, own up to the mistake.
Yeah.
I feel like ukisema pole goes a long way. Kwanza ukitoka wanasamanga don't admit to your fault, but sometimes it's clear somebody's fault.
And you see what happens in some cases that you see okay, I want to as a road user, as a driver, as a car guy, I want to stop and help and carry that person to the hospital if I've hit him, yeah. But then my fear is because all the boda guys wanajazana huko, and now you fear for your life. Now kama umebeba familia kwa gari, your natural instinct will be to protect your family.
Natural.
So now you're in that panic mode also. So I feel that there are people that benefit out of all this chaos.
Yeah.
You see, so if the cops would reach in time in such a scenario, I feel that we could avoid a lot of issues, right? So mwanzo huu jamaa amegongwa asaidike. The other people who are there to come and mtu anataka do, yule anataka do, huyu anasema yeye alipwe na haja gongwa. Yeah, so I feel like you should just try and help rather than extort the person. And it's not always the biker's fault. Like we know the person who died, the biker who died, Gustavo.
Gustavo,
Yeah. And this guy was like going on his lane. Yes, and a pro box guy, jamaa anaendesha gari, akafanya U-turn where he was not supposed to.
In the middle of the road, bana.
So, and that took lives, you see?
It took lives.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So, coming to my question, as a biker, because you see, if I'm a car driver, at least the car is protecting me, right? In case of an accident, in case of anything, gari nali protect. As a biker, in such a scenario, because they say that body yako ndio protection yako. So how do you protect yourself?
Hey,
this is a very important question because for upcoming bikers, for borders, how do they protect themselves? How do you make sure? Because you have been a biker for so long and you've been riding the bike for so long. How do you normally prevent, how the impact?
Me, if I meet you on the road and you don't have a helmet, I'll always tell you to wear a helmet. You start by protecting gear. Protecting gear always. I'm not like this because, it's passion, money. I've been in accidents that have forced me to be like this. I've broken bones, yeah? I've broken my toe, that's why I have the shoe. I've broken my shoulder, that's why I have knee pads, elbow pads, shoulder pads, protective gear always. On me, I have even a test pad. Huh? So to protect yourself first because you're the body, as you have said, yeah? If you take this fundamental that you are the body and you need to protect yourself. When you fall down, if you don't have gloves, the tarmac is like sandpaper. It will just grind you. So why don't you have gloves on? Eh? If you hit your head, get a buffer between your head and the tarmac. That's your helmet. Even if it's any helmet, to be honest. It will prevent maybe scars. Because you can look at chili, you will definitely have scars. Because your natural instinct will be very quick to protect. Protect with your hands, but if you hit your head first, you need to have a helmet. So first things first, always put on protective gear. Second, your defensive driving skills. Kuendesha bike. Yeah?
Situational awareness. Situational awareness.
Hizi vitu za kuenda hivi, so don't, especially as a beginner. Me as a beginner, when I started driving, I used to ride with sneakers. Yeah, so I looked cool, yeah? Now ride sneakers, your bike, cool jacket on, until I broke my toe. Because sneakers, if you hit something like this, it can go like this. You can break your toe. Yeah, and it's very common to break toes on bike because if you're kill shooting, you see a barrier. You see this barrier. Your toe is like this because the biker you won't even learn to put how to put your toe. Yeah. The toe is like this. Your feet are like this, dark feet. You go, you hit. You see? And then you break your leg. You break it. So lazima ukole discipline ya barabara and just
so there's one biker who told me that there is confidence is good. If you want to be a biker, confidence is good. But overconfidence kills.
Exactly. Overconfidence kills. Especially when you have group rides. You see on your bike as a biker also, you want to be in like you see this group ride that people go to. Nianze tupike pate suswa. Nianze tupike namanga. Those ones are good. They're very enjoyable. But on those group rides, don't try what you've never tried before. Come on, they put speed here so. They will wait for you. Yeah. So that you're trying to catch up. And then there's this thing called target fixation in group rides. So you're just targeted and you're fixed on the biker in front of you. What happens with your peripherals? Auoni kenye iko kando yako. None. So somebody might come and just swap going to you. You don't know how. So just be mindful of your environment as much as you're having fun and the group.
Do you think in our roles, like if only the government would try and create a different track for bikes and bikers over the motor vehicles, yeah, do you think it will save a lot of accidents? It will prevent a lot of accidents, and is that a viable option? Like, as the biker community, have you guys like spoken to any government agency or NTSA or the relevant authorities, that is there any possibility for such a scenario to happen?
I can never say never. It would actually help a lot if we have dedicated biker lanes. It will help a big deal. Like in APIA also, I feel like we should first, in my opinion, to be honest, we should first educate ourselves. Bikes zimekuwa mingi, from bikers to boda riders, and I feel like
Electric bikes,
electric
scooters,
bikes.
to all that, yeah.
And I feel like we don't have, especially the bikes, commercial bikers, yeah, the ones who the bodas, like you say. I feel like we don't have proper training. You see, we put money first, so you train only for 2 days. Shika clutch hapa nini. For electric bikes, it's even worse because you don't need to balance. It's just throttle.
No,
If you unaenda. If you know how to ride a bicycle, electric bike is. So if you don't have proper driver's license, so we just need to not hasten the process, follow your process, and learn how to go to like a proper school.
So like the government had come up with an initiative that whoever boda guy is getting a passenger has to have a gear for that passenger. But I mean, nowadays even the rider himself has zero gear, so the passenger has zero gear. So I think there is some level bit of enforcement that needs to be done into this community. What do you think?
I think even the dealers before, you used to buy a bike and get 2 helmets. Me, my first bike I bought and then kapata 2 helmets. The second bike I didn't get even 1 helmet.
Wow.
Yeah, they're actually selling the helmets. So you have a bike, you need a
really,
helmet.
really expensive.
Yeah, really expensive. Yeah. So that needs to be enforced completely. Even put trauma, it really doesn't matter. On the Uki, you see, like in Thika Road, where they're like cars or accidents, there, they should just come up with a video, show bikers that if you don't wear a helmet, this
Like create awareness, basically.
create like heavy awareness. Yeah.
And I feel you would be the right person for that, like and if the government would only invest in inviting different bikers who actually follow rules, and then those bikers can now advise that, okay, what happens when you don't follow rules, what happens when you follow rules, what are the pros, what are the cons, and you being a biker, I think you would be the best person to sort of advise. And maybe in your future endeavors you should come up with a school or a training center for bikers like you see, I am a total amateur. Yeah, I have not ridden a bike on the main roads. I hate riding on the main roads. So mimi zangu ni off-road too. Nikendeshanga bike na ndeshanga off-road. So maybe you open a training center whereby the public, it's open to the public and we can come and then you can train us on the situational awareness on because you have been into these roads very long. You know each and every corner of Nairobi. So how do we maneuver with what we have? Okay, because of course, when we are saying the government needs to, build roads and build separate, that is a very far-fetched plan, right? So as we speak, currently, what can we do? What is in our power that we can do? I always tell people, we always like pointing fingers at others.
Yeah.
The government this, or this person this person that. So how do we first start it at ourselves, right? It has to be ourselves. What are we doing as an individual person to make sure that we are following the rules, we are doing what's needed, what's supposed to be done?
To me, I'd say we can start by being our brother's keeper. Yeah, veteran bikers, don't be shy and be just follow the example that we have. Find a guy without helmet, just tell them to put on helmet politely because people don't like being told what to do. Mommy too have a helmet, and if you see them, okay, there's a way you talk to people. On the end, you have to throw on a bike fisi, like in another way they should say, I need you to leave to ride another day. Yeah, just a statement like that goes a very long way. I've had so much success. Because I mean, I'm the and other people like. The woman you're going to say about helmet. No, wanacheka alafu wanaambia okay, ni sawa hata nivaa. It's the way you approach them, yeah? And then because me, I use almost the same route every single time. I've found out that people in that route, when they see me, hata before ni Sardinia, the bikers, I'm the commercial bikers, the boda guys. Ananiona tu unamwona tu ameanza kuvaa helmet because I've put that in them. Yeah, I've found even people in my DMs. Mtu amenitumia ameniambia, just look at my helmet. Angalia hiyo scratch.
Like you've made a brand out of
The safety awareness.
the safety awareness.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I like, right?
Yeah, so even I know NTSA is watching. If you have any plans to promote road safety on the road for border guys, involve me and let me be a part of it. Yeah. So that I can really help. I have programs and plans that I can really push, and I'm sure they work because I've tried them myself and they have worked before. Yeah.
Would you advise me to be a biker?
I would advise you to be a biker, totally. But it's the fastest way to move to through Nairobi.
And are you a car guy?
I'm a car guy as well. I have a car, but I'm a biker more than I'm a car guy.
So you're on a two-wheeler more than you're on a four-wheeler every single day of your life.
6 times a week, 2 times a day. Oh no, 5. But gari ni ya familia sana. Yeah. Kienda kanisa na shopping.
So it's very good. Another to maybe come now into conclusion. What is the what are your parting notes to aspiring bikers, or if someone wants to join the biker community? What would you how would one start? Like, for instance, there's a lot of electric bikes. Which bike should you go for? Which one is a starter bike? Like, which one? Okay, me, if I want to enter into the biking community, which bike should I start with? Should I go because if I can afford, so should I go to the highest spec, or should I start small? How should I progress the biker journey? Because you will find that people, like you said, mtu hajui kuendesha bike na ananunua 650cc or 500cc. So what is the best bike to start with, and how will you grow gradually? And there's another notion that I've heard people say is that the more expensive bikes, right, they are more safer. Like, the BMWs and whatnot, they're considered to be more safe. Is that true, or is that just like hearsay?
Okay, they have more safety features, but me, I would just say the safest person is the one riding the bike. For example, there's a boda guy or biker, a boda guy who has been riding a boda for more than 10 years, has had few accident or even 0 accident. You are a biker who's coming out. It doesn't mean that you have an expensive bike, you're more experienced at that for the bike. Yeah. So I'd say the biker himself is the one who regulates the safety.
So which bike should you start with? Like, which model, which are the different brands of bikes that you would advocate for? Like, this is right now there's so many Chinese bikes, which some are quite good.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I have a Kibo, which serves well in the off-road conditions. So which are the bikes that you would advise someone to go for?
Okay, so it's a good question actually. If you want, there are different purposes for bike. If you're a commuter, I would advise you to go for the low to see bikes. And then if you're a commuter and your terrain is bad, I would advise you to go something for that, for like what I have, or that Kibo that you have. Yeah. Because of the terrain that you have. If you're cutting to ride a bike and then your roads are good, I would advise something that is more sporty, but it's low CC, because you are also trying to save on maybe fuel and time. Yeah. That's the first thing about a bike, late being flooding. Yeah, so maybe an Apache on 80cc, if you're not that good. But if you just like you want to be a hardcore biker and you want to start off-road kind of stuff, just start with the beginner bikes, like the one the KTM 390, the adventure bike. Yeah. Or maybe you just start gradually as you go. I've had people starting with a 1000cc. It's not bad, but that's like jumping into the peak.
That's why in the car community, people tell people that before you own a BMW or a Volkswagen, anza na Toyota mwanzo, zoea gari yako. I always tell them it's a wrong notion, man. Like, as long as you have a driving license, what I told them is get the VW, get the BMW, get the car you like. But I guess for biking is a bit different.
For biking, I think it's a bit different. Can you imagine now you're a beginner because let no one lie to you. You will crash. You will have to crash. Either fatal or just a small crash. Utaanguka na bike. Ukianza kuendesha bike lazima utaanguka na. Yeah. So imagine you bought your BMW the GS 1300cc. You're a beginner bike. That's your first bike. You're starting with a 1300.
You know, I sat in that bike for Rex Minor. You know Rex Minor. He has a BMW, a yellow one. I couldn't even start that bike. I couldn't even move it forward.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's I didn't have the skills to do it.
I didn't have the skills. So me, what defines a biker to me is coming up after an accident. I've had people who have quit like after the first accident. But for a biker, if you get into an accident, corners, get back to your bike, get into an accident, it means you're resilient. You are actually a biker. But if you start with that, a bike it has a lot of torque. It's like you need throttle control, yeah. And as a beginner, if you fall and you get off your bike, you won't learn how like just to release the throttle.
Yeah.
And imagine that much torque, and then you fall down and just it will do more damage.
Yeah.
So I would just say start slow. Start slow for biker because bikes are dangerous, to be honest, but they are actually really good. You know how to ride them.
Will you ever remove your helmet? Will you ever show us your identity?
Tell you what.
To conclude it, will you ever, because we've come to the end of our podcast, will you ever remove your helmet? Will we ever see who Brio really is?
Yes, you will. You will. If all the Boda bikers, the bikers, if everyone puts on a helmet on the road, I will remove my helmet.
So guys, that's a challenge to you. Yeah, whoever is a biker out there, whoever is a Boda rider, whoever is a biker, whoever is in this biking community, make sure you are geared up. And if you are geared up, we will have a challenge. We will come here again, Brio, and I will make sure we remove his helmet.
Everyone, put on your helmet. I will remove mine.